How's it going, Harry?
It's going well. How's it going, Nico?
It's going very well. It's going very well. Whereabouts you
Fantastic.
calling me from today, my man?
Uh, Thailand, my friend, Thailand.
How long you been out there?
About 3 months, 2 months, 3 months.
You enjoying it? Is it everything you hoped and wished it would be?
Pretty nice, I suppose. Better than Birmingham.
Much better than Birmingham.
Mm,
There's no I mean,
100%.
Birmingham's not very hard to beat. Sorry if you're watching from Birmingham, but game's the
Well,
game.
not really.
So you've been working with us for what? Bloody hell, you started working with us in August, around
July
there?
or June.
July.
June, I think.
Okay, that's my bad. June.
Yeah,
You've
thanks.
been working with us since June. Um, what's your experience been like so far?
Honestly, fantastic, bro. There's not a bad word I can really say. Pretty cool dude, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's not about me. It's about you. How was your experience, my man?
No, it's good. It's good. I mean, I've definitely transformed in the way I wanted to. I've definitely
Hmm.
achieved the goals that I wanted to achieve coming into it and more. So, in all honesty, it's been a great experience.
Mm. What were you doing before you got into remote sales?
Corporate 9 to 5. So I was in sales as well. I was selling HR and health and safety solutions to businesses all over the UK. I mean, financially wasn't bad. I could make 3, 4 grand a month, but
Hmm.
I had no time to do anything for myself. No time to even hit the gym. Like I was having to have like 5, 6 hours sleep just so I could train because it was about an hour away from where I lived as well. So yeah,
Damn. And so now your commute is simply rolling out of bed.
pretty much.
Not bad. But okay, so what do you feel like what was it that kind of was like the final straw for you that kind of broke the camel's back, if you will?
uh, you know, I'd say trying to make me cold call like 118 data, bro. Purchase data,
Mm.
hitting through dialers, and they're like, "Yeah, you need to call that." I was like, "What?" And it made me realize, like, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm good at sales. Why the hell am I working at 9 to 5? Like, what am I doing with my life? The way I saw it was like everyone has the ability to achieve whatever they want. Why am I sitting here working a corporate 9 to 5 job? Doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. Like, if you think about it logically, for
Mm.
what I want to achieve in life and the freedom, because for me, life's all about getting as close to freedom as possible. Why the hell would I sit in a 9 to 5 when it's not going to get me there? You know?
For sure. For sure. And what, because for me it was a bit similar. It was like, was it you seeing all the people kind of succeed with it, and you were kind of like, well, you're not special. I can do it too. Was it kind of that?
Not necessarily. For me, it was more like there's no chance this is my life. Like, there's no chance that I'm going to sit here at 20 years old, 21 years old, and be, doing what everyone else does. Like, my biggest fear is to be normal and just live like everyone else, and that's not it. It's really not it, and I was not having it, to be honest. I'd always tried to like come up with loads of different ideas on how I could, because I'm not bothered about being a millionaire and having 10 Swedish girlfriends and a Lamborghini, bro. I care more about, freedom, like living on the
And
side of a
three Swedish
mountain in
girlfriends,
Japan,
no, I
bro.
guess.
Huh?
And I said, and three Swedish girlfriends, not 10. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I'm messing.
Maybe a couple of the flavors would be nice, but besides that, it's more freedom for me. And I
Yeah.
tried a lot of things, like, for example, I was making websites for restaurants. I was
Yeah.
trying everything I could possibly do to try and make it out. And I realized that, I'm already in sales. Why don't I just leverage the skills I've already got? Because I'm in an advantageous position, you know.
You are. You are. For sure. On that, because obviously a lot of, you're not the only sales rep who wants to get into remote sales.
Hmm.
Why didn't you do it on your own?
Why didn't I do it on my own?
Yeah.
how the hell's that possible? Like, how the hell am I going to go from, working a 9 to 5 job to closing 5 figure deals online just without knowing anything? It's impossible. It's not impossible. I'm sure it is possible, but in my opinion, it'd have to be pretty stupid to do that
Why?
because you're just going to waste so much time and energy. Like, at the end of the day, what's more valuable, time or money? Time, right? So the investment which was required into this isn't that big of an investment. It's not like I had to fork out 10 grand, you know? So the way I like to see it is, what's a better use of resources? Me spending like a year trying to figure out the online space and how to close on it, or I use that time and energy into actually doing it because you teach it. So why would I spend a year trying to figure out for myself when it's right in front of me the whole time?
For sure, for sure. And when you started working with us, you got stuck in very quickly. You've
Oh
worked
yeah.
so many different offers, but like you
Mm.
landed a role very quickly because of the network and the community. Um,
Yeah, I
Ismail
think it was
helped
in
you
like
with
2 weeks.
an offer. Say that again.
I think it was like 2 weeks. 2 weeks in.
Yeah, it was crazy, and this was for people who won't know. Like, what were you selling? What were you doing in that role that you
Started
landed
off, it was just some setting, appointment setting,
in?
for an influencer online. It was pretty easy. I made good money from it, but it was more of a stepping stone for me. And then decided to get into the closing realm because that's where the money's at. It's where
Mm,
the freedom and the money's at.
yeah, and you've been on 3 closing offers.
Uh, yeah, three.
One lead gen, one AI lead gen, and then one drop shipping.
Yeah, one ecom course, one lead gen, and then an AI consulting and marketing firm as well.
Mm. And so, obviously, you have big ambitions, and so that's also why you've kind of been on that many offers in that short space of time. Right now, you are selling AI lead gen. Uh, Kind of, can you give people a bit of a better understanding of what that looks like how much it is, what the commissions are, kind of thing?
Yeah, so lead gen's just one part of it. It's more in terms of consulting and management. So, for example, we coach people on a one-to-one basis, similar to Unico, in terms of their medical clinic and how to, retention of patients, how to get more patients, how to get even cheaper product prices because we've got good links within the space. So essentially, there's two ticket prices for that, 10 and 40K, and I get 12% commission on that. So if I sell a 40K, I get 5 grand commission.
Not bad. And how many calls do you take a day?
Roughly four.
Okay.
I probably
And
could do more as well, but for me right now, as I say, freedom's everything. I'm making enough money to where, like, yeah, I could probably double what I'm doing, but I don't need to. Especially
yeah.
over here in Asia, I probably save 90% and invest 90% of my income.
Mm, for sure. And like that's a huge part of it. Like you're actually just living life.
Yeah, pretty
Like it's
much, pretty
crazy.
much. It's I work 8 till 1, 8 p.m. till 1 a.m. Rest of the
Mm.
day I just read the Bible, read the Bible, train, eat eggs, pretty much it. Go on nice walks, look at the nature, go to temples, just pretty much experiencing life and having that freedom to do whatever I want.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. And so,
Not.
what would you say has like been the compared to the person who you were before,
Hmm.
the person you are now? What's like the biggest shift you've had in your
In
mindset?
terms of what?
Your mindset, the way you look at the world, the way you apply yourself.
To be honest with you, in terms of mindset, it's more of, the person I used to be. Mindset was very short term. Now it's very long term. Like all I wanted was to just escape, and then once I'd escaped, I didn't know what to do next.
Yeah,
So now I think more long term. I have plans in place for the next 5 years that I'm working towards, and I'd say that it's very important to look at the bigger picture and not just jump into, oh, I want to make 5 grand next month.
yeah,
Like, yeah, it's great, but you want to look at, what you can do in 2 years. Because I'm 21 right now. I'm thinking about what my life's gonna be like at 23. It's crazy, you know.
mm, yeah.
Just wait till
No,
the
it's
crypto pumps, bro.
yeah. I mean, you're doing very well for yourself. Like we won't get into the specifics, but you're making 5 figures a month. You being in Thailand, that's pretty nice. You are setting yourself up for the future, that's for sure. What are your long-term goals? I'm curious.
Oh, that's a great question. How long term we talking?
As long-term as you know.
I'm a very spiritual person, and
Yeah.
the long term goal for me is honestly building my own house on the side of a mountain in Japan, spending my time just doing pull ups on trees and writing scriptures, man. I want to be remembered for my wisdom and my knowledge more than, other people are like, yeah, I want a yacht, I want 17 cars, and I want to be, known as a worldwide international G. I'm not that guy. I'd rather be known as a clever man and remembered for a couple 100 years, for sure.
No, for sure. I love that as well. Um, I'm very similar in that regard. Like, bro, one day I plan on probably just like gone. I'm gone.
I'm already like that though, bro. You know me.
No, I know. It's different. It's different.
It's
But
good,
one day,
man. Instagram, I think social media is the death of everyone, bro. Especially out here in Asia, everyone's addicted to TikTok. Like, there's people,
yeah.
waiters at restaurants, when I ain't got anything to do. Like, it's
Mm,
crazy. Like, when you, like, I don't have TikTok or anything like that. Like, I've never had TikTok in my life. And when you don't have it, you look at the world, right, and you see what everyone's like, and it's like, how do you live your life that way, bro? Like, what's going on there?
for sure.
It's
It's
crazy.
like people are consuming other people's lives rather than just living their own.
It's nuts, man. And the thing is, like, social media can be used for good reasons. And that's the only reason I would have it is to create something out of it. But
Mm,
honestly, like, the last thing that I would possibly ever want is to be known online. I don't know what it is. For me, it's just like nothing good's gonna come out of that.
yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. That's something that plays on my mind sometimes as well, just because it's like
Mm.
it is crazy. Um,
Yeah, leverage it though. Like, I mean, if you're
oh,
in a
for sure.
position where that's what you can do, then do it. I just think that ghost mode is the way to go.
You're not wrong. I think that's like the best way to do it. It's just like you can leverage it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why so many people do it. But that's
Facts.
also why it's like, bro, the online space is such a bad rep. It's crazy. Like it's insane.
But it's where the money is, man. Like, and this is why also another reason why I wanted to get into, the online space, because how many idiots do you see making millions a month and they're like 15-year-old retards, bro? I'm like, how the hell are these guys making money online? And I am sat here at a 9 to 5 job slaving away. It doesn't make sense. And I
Yeah.
thought, you know what? I always thought, yeah, I could make some content, but it's not me. And the facts are, like, in the online space, that's where the money's flowing. So what you need to do is you need to position yourself where the money is flowing, because
Mm,
at that point you're going to get some of it. And that's
for
another
sure.
reason why I jumped on the AI offer, right? Because AI is the future. That's where
Yeah.
the money's flowing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leverage that position, bro.
A million percent.
It's all about working smarter, not harder, in my opinion.
For sure. And that's like the definition of what remote sales and high ticket closing is at the end of the day. Like, Harry, is your job any harder than it was 12 months ago?
And that's easier.
Exactly, bro. Like, that's the thing. Um,
Sometimes it
because,
doesn't feel real. Like it does
yeah,
feel real, but sometimes I'm like, how's nobody else figured this out yet? You know
because it
what I
takes
mean?
work. It's not easy. That's why.
Yeah, it takes
I
work. It's
mean,
not easy, but like once you're there, it's easy. Like
yeah,
in
no,
my
exactly.
opinion, like I would. It's a lot easier to do this job. I don't know if it's because like I was naturally. I've always pursued knowledge and wisdom over everything, so I feel like that kind of puts me in a strategic place. But
Mm,
like I used to work at UPS when I was 17, bro. And I'll tell you what,
mm,
that's a lot harder than sitting on a Zoom call and speaking to somebody for an hour.
yeah,
You know?
for sure. 1,000,000%. The only difference between, like, it's just education at the end of the day, like everything. That's all it is. The only difference between where you are and where you want to be, it's just education and educating yourself on whatever it may be.
I think a lot of it's belief, bro.
That's
Because
also a big part
how
of it
many
too.
times do you speak to somebody? Like, how many times? Do you remember when you were, before you kind of got into this, right? And you were like, yeah, but bro, all these people are making millions online. And
Mm,
everyone's response is always saying, oh, yeah, yeah, but that's not realistic. Like, why is it not realistic? It's literally
yeah,
happening right now. And that's what I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, could make money online, but I'm going to choose not to.
yeah,
Mate, that
yeah. No,
makes sense.
it's because there's fear in the unknown, and that's why I say education is a big part of it. Because people instantly, like, when I was literally what you said, when I told like my friends and people that I was like, I'm gonna make 10 grand a month, people laughed. People were like, that's not realistic.
Mm.
People were like, how are you gonna do that online? Good one. And it made me realize it's like you're just very small-minded people. And this is something I'll lead on to, but
I think that if you're going to sit there and not pursue your goals because of fear, then you probably deserve to never achieve them.
yeah,
To be pretty harsh with it. Like if you're going to sit there and be like, yeah, no, could do it, but what if it doesn't work? Let's just stay corporate forever. Like then you probably deserve to not achieve it because like why would you even? Like, it doesn't make sense, man. I can't comprehend people these days. It's crazy.
no, for sure. It's I get why people feel that way. Um, just from being in sales, it's very normal, and it's sales is about navigating that. It's about being able to take someone who's in that position and like turn it around,
Hmm.
right? Everyone has a different approach of doing it. Your approach is very blunt, and you're like, dude, come on.
Yeah, I call them straight out on it because at the end of the day, like people can beat around the bush, but for me, I'm like, oh, to be honest with you, I don't even get to say it how I wish to say it because that is not very professional.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right, dude. But one thing that we kind of spoke on is like what you mentioned. It's like those people that are like, ah, it's impossible. Like you tell them like that it's not realistic. Do you think a big part of your success has also come from like surrounding yourself with the right people?
100%. Like I don't surround myself with too many people. A lot of the people I speak to, people within the community, firstly, and my close friends in real life, but I had to go through a lot of sacrifice to be able to be in this position. It's not like I just was like, yeah, bought a sales course, now I make 10 grand a month. It's not how it was. I cut everyone off because they're all idiots. I spent a year of my life constantly learning, constantly gaining knowledge in terms of sales. And then previously, I spent 2 years doing the same thing, but it doesn't come easy, but it's just perspective at the end of the day. And I feel like a
Mm,
lot of people are lost in terms of purpose. Like, yeah, they want to make 10 grand a month, but what they're going to do with it, they don't know.
yeah,
People just like see it online, see Iman Gaji's ads, and like, oh yeah, let's start a marketing agency. And then, they don't follow through with it 'cause they're not serious. The why is not strong enough.
yeah. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but what's your why?
It's a good question. I have multiple whys really, but for me, it's all about becoming the best human being that I possibly can.
Mhm.
Not in terms of, oh, I want to be rich, want to be extra jacked. It's nothing to do with that for me. It's more like, you know, being able to show my friends and family what life's all about, because life's all about freedom.
Mm.
And the way I see it is a life, I would rather die in the pursuit of growth than to just stay stagnant. Because, like, that's what life's all about, man. I just want to grow as a human being, come to the point where, I can provide a fantastic life and live freedom for everybody surrounding me. There's no way I was put on the planet to be normal. Like,
Yeah,
make that make sense?
yeah. I don't think anyone was. It's just I think people, and this is why I say like I understand why people feel that way. It's like it's a very hot take, and then we're getting into a very interesting conversation here. But like people are programmed to be that. Like that's all school teaches you to do. That's all getting a job teaches you to do. Like it's all teaching you to be normal. You don't have to be normal. You can do whatever you want, like you said.
Hmm.
Like
Without better use of wording, the Matrix, right? But it's crazy, bro, because it's facts. Like, if you really do a deep dive on like economics and the political state of the world, bro, you realize everything's a scam, man. Everything's a ploy.
mm,
It's crazy.
mm, getting a bit conspiracy theory, but
Yeah, somebody's gonna. There's definitely gonna be someone watching this like these are a pair of conspiracy theorists.
the thing is, what's amazing, and this is something that is like normal. It's like I was speaking to Alex the other day,
Hmm.
because Alex he's in South Africa at the moment, meeting very high level people there, like millionaires in the online space. And he said this to me, he's like, Nico, I don't know why. Every time I'm about to meet someone in the online space, I always get like worked up in my head, but they're just a normal fucking person. And
Yeah.
it's also you kind of realize that too. I remember when we started talking more like regularly, you were like, this guy's just a normal dude, right? And
Yeah,
I think a lot of people
I've
go
noticed
through
that.
that. Like everyone, I'm a normal person. You're a normal person. Like everyone is normal. We're not special. All we did was we wanted something. Like you said, our why was strong enough, and we just went after it and didn't take no for an answer.
Facts. Yeah, everyone in the online space is just a normal person, but the thing is, what I don't like, and this is what I like about you, you're not kind of like, yeah, guys, look at this new R8 I just bought. You know what I mean? Like everyone else is like, it's all about living this life of luxury and having all the girls in the world and stuff like that. I feel like those guys are just idiots, bro, to be honest with you. And you're more on a realistic standpoint and a level that's, you're not trying to flex your wealth. You're not trying to flex on people, you're trying to help people. And that's kind of the way I would go about it if I was going to get into, making content and stuff like that. But everyone's just a normal person. And, you know,
Mm.
I don't understand why people are like, oh my God, no way.
Yeah,
It's that Iman Gadji. Jesus, look at him. Like, who gives a shit, man? Just a normal dude.
for real. It's the same with like famous people, like celebrities, whatever. It's the same. Um, on that note, to kind of end it there, is there anything that you, let's say you were speaking to your younger self, right? Like, what would you tell your younger self
How young?
a year before you knew about the online space? Like, let's say a year, 2 years.
Hmm, that's a tricky one.
Give them some advice.
You're
Your
gonna have
younger
to,
self.
give me 30 seconds to have a little think about Drop the ego and learn. Mm, massive. I remember when I had my call, right, my first call when I went to join Enigma. I remember I was like, I already know what I'm doing. I'm just here for the network. That's what I said.
Mm.
And I remember looking back now, I didn't know absolutely shit. Because the thing is, what we do is different to like normal salespeople. Yeah, they know sales, but they don't know sales like we know sales. It's completely different. I thought I was like the god. I thought I was like, yeah, can't chat to me. I'm the best salesman in the world. In fact, I was absolutely shit. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. So I had came in there with an ego of like, yeah, you can't tell me anything. I know everything. Didn't know shit. So I'd say drop the ego and learn, and just like the way I see it is like if you have goals in life, like if you want to work a corporate 9 to 5 job forever, do it. That's what's going to make you happy, yeah. But if you actually want to live the life that you want to live, you have two choices: you either do or you don't. And if you're young like me, let's say you're under the age of 25, what have you got to lose from trying? Because what people do is they a 9 to 5 is always the worst case scenario. No matter what happens, right? Let's say you start a business. Let's say you get in the online space. Let's say you do trading, crypto, whatever. If it all fails and you're 40 years old bankrupt, just go and get a 9 to 5. Like, why are you going to settle for the 9 to 5 in your prime years? Because that's the way I see it. Like, from the age of 20 to 30 is literally your prime years to build wealth for yourself and your family. How are you going to waste it by doing some cold calling? Like, it doesn't, I can't fathom it in my brain. I'm just like, how can people even think that's remotely acceptable?
Yeah,
You know, it's ridiculous. Absolutely.
for sure. It's all it comes down to it comes back to that thing of like that fear of failure, not wanting to take risks, and settling um, for safe. Because Harry, since you've been closing, every month has your check at the end of the month been the same. That's what they want. See what I mean? But they're willing to
Absolutely
settle for
ridiculous.
like much less, but it's consistent than you
Absolutely
who can
ridiculous.
make 5 times what they make in a month.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, bro. Like, if one of your biggest like, unless you've got 3 kids by
Yeah.
24, there's no reason
Mm.
why you should be pursuing stability.
Yeah.
That is absolutely ridiculous because like, where's stability ever got you? You know what I mean? Like, the people who want to actually achieve life, stability doesn't exist. I remember when I joined Enigma, the same day I left my job and I had 300 quid in my bank. I was like, well, got to go balls deep now, you know? Because like I knew that if I still had my job, like I was like, I can't believe that I even managed to live. I was making like 2 grand a month, bro. And like looking back, can you imagine making 2 grand a month and not hating your life? Because the way I see it is, I'm like, if I make, let's say I make 10 grand a month, let's say I make 12 grand, whatever. I sat down and think, shit, I'm broke. That's not enough. Because like your perspective changes when you earn 2 grand a month. You're like, oh, 5 grand a month's nuts. Imagine if I could make that. That's like 60 grand a year, you know. And then once you start making 5 grand a month, you're like, Jesus Christ, I'm broke. Get to making 10 grand a month, you're like, I've made it. And then you realize, oh shit, I'm broke still. And it's just like
Yeah,
it's all a perspective thing and what position you're
for
in,
sure.
in life. Because 10 grand a month is 120 grand a year. I know when you put
Mm,
it that way to me, I'm like, it's not enough. So
for sure.
it's all
For sure.
perspective. And in reality, like if you want to be the kind of guy who's got a Lamborghini, then you best quit your job, mate, and start working. You know?
For sure. What I'd say on that one though is like you got to be careful. With you, I'm not worried because you got good people around you, and also you got a good head on your shoulders. But like other people, that kind of mindset, it's like enjoy the wins, enjoy the
Mm.
wins, celebrate your wins.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
obviously you
Celebration.
want to be making more and more and more, and like you're still not where you want to be. but don't let that stop you from celebrating your wins. That's something I've learned as well. It's like 2024, I had an overarching goal. I'm going to make 100 grand in a month. It didn't happen. It's going to happen, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And that really ate at me for the beginning of the year. And then I had a conversation with my dad, and he was like, do you know, like, personally, another like 22-year-old who's done what you've done this year? I'm like, hmm, like I've got friends online, whatever, like online friends, like from this space, but
Yeah.
like personally, like in my circle, 22, no, my circle's like older, so it's like he's like, okay, that's all that matters.
Mm. I think that's very, very impactful as well. And the way I also like to see it, I don't know if you've ever thought about this. Like, you know, the kind of guys that are working 9 to 5 and they're like, they make 2 grand a month. Comes to Friday, they're like, yes, lads, let's go to warehouse project. We know those kind of dudes, yeah. The way I think about it is I'm actually quite happy for them to stay where they are because at the end of the day, have you ever thought about this? Like, you look at the people surrounding, all over the UK especially, and you ever look at them and think, what the hell are you doing? That's
Mm.
our competition, bro. That's our competition, bro. The competition that we have at our age for other 21 and other 22-year-olds, bro, is just average dudes. You know, the kind of guys who are like, come on, I've managed to save 15 grand over the past 6 months. You're not going to do that? Buy a Beamer. That's our competition, bro. So the thing is, we need to leverage that first and foremost. And the people who want to succeed and the people who want to learn, they'll do it. And the people who don't. It's up to them at the
Mm.
end of the day.
Yeah, I think personally, like, do whatever makes you happy at the end of the day. Like, it all comes down to what you want to do. But if you want to do this, do it. Like, fucking.
Yeah, it's their life at the end of the day. I think people should do what makes them happy, but sometimes, people tell me things that makes them happy. I'm like, that's ridiculous. What's going on there?
But that's just because for you, if you were in their shoes, like some people, dude, there's this one person I know, literally said, you go, all I want is a house in London, 3 kids, and a dog.
Yeah. I mean,
That's all he
sure.
wants.
Sure, but I don't think that is all he wants. I think that's all he thinks he can achieve. I think that's the difference. Because if you said to somebody, write your dream life, right? And if they said, I just want a house and a wife, then like the way I think about that is you want more than that, but you can't. You don't feel like you can do it. You like capping your limit. You're putting limitations on yourself. I don't know though.
It's a weird one. Now we're getting into another interesting topic, but it's it's a weird one because it's
Full of
like
interesting conversations.
your perception is your reality, right?
Mm,
What you believe to be true is true. So
yeah,
what you're saying, I don't disagree with at all. But at the same time, some people actually do just want to be like that. And for those people, go
that's the
for it. Like,
competition,
do
bro.
what makes you happy, right? Do what makes you happy at the end of the day. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's fine
crazy.
by me. That's the competition we have, Nico. If that's what they want, they can have it. Win-win for me.
You crack me up, bro. But yeah, dude, it's been a great chat, and I'm looking forward to seeing you get that house in the mountains in Japan.
Oh, bro. I mean, I've got some. I'm going to be scoping it out over the next coming months. I'm going to be going all over Asia, really, just to
Mm,
to scope out where the house with the mountain's going to be. Especially out here, like in Thailand, bro. This is what I don't get. So in London, a house £1 million, yeah. Over here, way better house, phenomenal yard. There's one literally right there. They've got like a five car drive,
mm.
garage, like a house literally with pillars. Bet it costs 60 grand to make it. And I'm there like, nah.
Amazing. Keep it up, bro. And like I said, I'm excited to not only help you get there, but see it happen. All right. Speak soon, my man.